Speaker, Jude Stewart. I apologize, no intermission today because there's a band on after us. Jude Stewart writes about design, culture, and all kinds of other things for Slate, Business Week, The Believer, and other magazines. Her talk is based on her column, Color Is, for Step Inside Design magazine. You can visit her online at judestewart.com. Please welcome Jude Stewart.
First person here, and I'm like, where can I sit that'll be total fire hazard when I come out? And you're right there. That'll be it. Okay, we have like a height differential here. Can you hear me? No? Okay. Oh yeah. Going off-road. How's that? Better? Yes. Feel my power. All right. I'm going to get used to this. Okay. So this is a little bit like when I went to a tractor pull at the North Carolina State Fair, but in reverse. Because for one thing, the people stand up and there's an enormous flag and you say the Pledge of Allegiance and you kind of cry a little. And then basically the goal is that the tractor pulls this really heavy thing and it chugs and chugs and chugs, and then the guy goes, "Look at it, folks. Look at that smoke. It's black as midnight, folks. It's midnight. It's midnight." So this is like that in reverse. So it's going to be white. Okay. So we'll start out with decoding color. All right. So we all know, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do here. And we all know color is potent. It's a force of nature. It's a talisman. And I thought, all right. So one thing that I know, though, that a lot of people don't know is that it actually transmits secret messages from the dead. And I, of course, am capable of decoding these messages, and so soon will you be. So I just have to do a quick show of hands to animate. You guys all watch the Colbert Report? Right? Okay. So you're familiar with the Colbert Code concept? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, also, Stephen Colbert and I have this in common where we can decode things. He watches the news and he sees secret conspiracies that none of us would ever see, so he hops from thing to thing in, absurd fashion, and then he discovers some secret that is there. So I'm going to do a little bit of this, we'll call it Color Code, in which we will learn something that color is trying to tell us as it speaks from the dead. All right. So we're going to start with Admiral Lord Mountbatten. When I was writing this column, the first color I did was pink. And one of the things I was surprised at right away is how much more masculine and driving and kind of potent pink is. Whoa, potent pink. Now I'm going to step back. So then, I realized that there's kind of this hidden animus to the color. And really the case in point for this would be a pink that is named after Admiral Lord Mountbatten called Mountbatten Pink, which I will show you. All right. So Mountbatten Pink is a naval camouflage promoted by Admiral Louis Mountbatten of the British Royal Navy during World War II. He colored his entire flotilla of destroyers this shade, intending to match the sky at dawn or at dusk. It had its really high moment during this fight between the HMS Kenya, which they referred to as the Pink Lady, and they were fighting the Germans off the coast of Norway. And in a confounding coincidence of pinkness, the Germans were using these guns that they had like a marker dye so that they could aim their shots, and their marker dye was pink. So it was sort of pink on pink action. So unfortunately, Mountbatten Pink faltered in 1942 due to a fatal flaw. As soon as the sun would actually come past a certain point where it was no longer just dusk or just dawn, it would spotlight these bright pink ships on the horizon with unfortunate, brilliant accuracy. Moving right along. All right, so when I'm writing this, I'm thinking, okay, I have a clue in my hands. Like, what is Lord Mountbatten trying to tell me something? Is his dreamy pink navy saying something with color that is critical maybe to our day and age? Go with me, yes. So I'm putting this together and I'm thinking, okay, we've got British Empire surrounded by water. Okay, this is like, I didn't plan on the looking back and forth. Surrounded by water, who could this be? Oh, it's not him. Yes, it is him. Of course, this reminds me, I'm thinking, okay, the clue is probably Napoleon in exile. And as it turns out, there is really a color connection here with this sort of under-acknowledged insidious intent, because Napoleon brings us to the deadly case of green. Did Napoleon die of stomach cancer, or did he die of arsenic poisoning? Doubts raised in 1961 swelled to intrigue in 2001 when tests on Napoleon's hair pinged alarmingly high arsenic levels. A delicious near decade ensued in which historians swiveled a suspicious eye at various beribboned fellows fingering the poisoner. But perhaps the finest theory actually blames the decorator. As hemmed in on St. Helena, Napoleon's stomach pains galled him only slightly more than his smarmy captors and his quack doctors. So for relief, he passed hours roaming between his steamy bath and his bedroom, curtains drawn, with the green, jungly interior sort of evoking the exterior. And the humidity from all these baths begat a lot of mold, and then it converted the Scheele's green pigment on the walls into from copper arsenite to arsenic trimethyl, blah, 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 science. But it was a toxic vapor that the contention was killed Napoleon, so he had sort of a death by wallpaper. As much as one wants to stop here, we can't, because in 2008, a bunch of kind of assholey Italian scientists with their nuclear reactor, so smart, they cut the romantic knowledge and declared incontrovertibly that actually everyone in Napoleon's time is completely full of arsenic compared to today. So, not so much. But stomach cancer won out, but they, of course, I leave you with the towel head images of Napoleon cussing fate in a poisonous steam vapor, which is, of course, undeniably charming. Okay, so now I know that I'm traveling to the heart of something big, and I'm thinking, okay, where is this taking me? Where is Lord Mountbatten bringing us? What force on earth can turn green, the color of life, into a toxic harbinger of death? Color fingers, the truly universal killer, which we've all been stabbed by, the destructive power of love. My font didn't come through. It was much more doom and gloom. Okay, so I present you with our next clue. Franz Schubert's 1824 song cycle, Die schöne Müllerin, the Fair Maid of the Mill, which arguably takes the cake for the most famous, most miserable, and most green-addled artistic work ever. It opens on a green young man in every sense of the word. He falls for a green young maid amid a lot of verdure. And then she bolts into, that would be me skipping a line. She hesitates, he palpitates. His token of love for her is a sheaf of green ribbons. She bolts into another's arms, who is a hunter clad in green. He's jealous in green. Things go badly. Love-crazed, he soliloquizes the cruel, unfeeling nature that blooms and drips with sap, even as he longs for death. So I'll give you some sample lyrics here, and I'm legit because my husband's a musician.